What the heck is bobber dogging? So, recently had a guy ask to do a rundown on bobber dogging. So, here we go. When I first saw these bobbers, thought they were kind of weird looking. I was like, why is it flat on the bottom? Don't make any sense. How are you supposed to operate this thing? So, I got it down. I've caught quite a few fish this way, and it's probably starting to be one of my favorite ways to fish for steelhead. So, what you got is the same way I set up regular bobber fishing. Still gonna have that bobber stop way up at the top, and then what I got is that little bead to hit your bobber stop, and then I got a quirky little indicator that my stuff isn't all tangled up. Okay, I have some other videos doing a whole bobber rundown, which maybe I'll make another one here coming up for fall season. But then I got a bobber dogging float. So this is a West Coast float. I really like this one. It's nice and big, got a big surface on the back. And the reason you want that is you kind of think about it as the old school way of drift fishing. You would technically not have a bobber, you just have a weight like this, or a slinky weight. And then you'd have about a 3-foot leader down to your bead. So kind of the same thing. The purpose of that is so when you're drift fishing, it's a high success rate because if you get good at it, like your stuff is always at the bottom and it looks very natural. It's bouncing down the river like it should. Because when you run a regular float system, it's kind of just like dangling in there in the midsection of the water if you're not setting the depth right or whatever. So it doesn't look really natural. So when you learned how to drift fish, and you see people having great success with that, it's really because, I mean, that thing is on the bottom and it looks naturally as it goes through the current, bouncing off of the bottom, going down the current. So this is technically the same thing, but it makes it a little more easier for the average person. And it almost is like better technology. It kind of pulls your stuff down the river, not allowing it to get stuck as often as if you just ran without a bobber. So what it does is you set your depth, right? And you want to go further than what you're fishing. If it's like, 4 to 6 feet, like I'm setting my bobber depth like 8 to 10 feet. That way I know my stuff is dragging on the bottom. But the cool thing about having the bobber on here is you have the back of this float is flat for the current. What it's gonna look weird compared to other floats, but it's gonna lay down flat and the water is gonna push down on the back of that float, and you want to create a belly in your line almost loose